trees like hazelnuts is a relatively new industry in Bhutan with a long-term commercial objective. Hazelnuts being a low-input nut crop, more and more farmers are now taking interest in hazelnut cultivation. This week, we will look at hazelnut orchard and bring you some important highlights on how you can grow your own hazelnuts. Our objective is to provide you with precise knowledge about hazelnut cultivation, basically on how to plant it, how to manure it, how to remove the suckers, how to propagate the hazelnut plants out of the suckers, what are some essential conditions required for the trees, and why is it important for our farmers and for our country's economy as a whole. Hazelnut is one of the expensive export-oriented nuts with potentials to generate income and improve livelihoods for rural communities. A secure income for hazelnuts will have positive spillover effects on children's education, continuity of traditional lifestyle, and rural economic development. More on this story, we are featuring some farmers from eastern Bhutan who all are most renowned producers of nuts on the Living Treasure.
This is a journey back in time. A journey to a remote village of Daupung at Yunfula, where lives remain as it was in the past. In this dark and mysterious landscape, a 48-year-old Mr. Taung Rinzin has found a promising career for his future. Isolated in place and time, this individual was actually born to a farm family.
고마니다 족덩이서 처음에라 족덩이 닝들고 작바 녹니라 니 동탕 앞주 죽주 우니가 잘리라 락말락 투천.
Working in farm for many years, he realized that he should try something different than doing the same thing he has been doing for many years. So, he started a small orchard farm that would keep him busy and make a living for his family. It's the orchard of hazelnuts.
항대 첼레모 사 항대 룩베 켈레모 홍강 동 항대 직베 켈레모 니키 항대 룩베 무누 뿌라 트레이닝 빈솔라.
Almost 5 years ago, these nut trees rose like a greeting party of family elders on the hills and slopes of his farmhouse. Hazelnut trees usually grow in fertile and well-drained soil with little efforts during the first year of plantation.
라인남 사미슈 아 족덩갈레다 아삼갈레도 알리켈마레 마바 첼라감라도 홍강직 타네 우츠푸노 홍강직바 까와챵 피케 온투슬란 온일라니 온리칸테 풋비니 데당데다즈레 핀다니 온슬란 슈라레라.
A foundational species envisaged for this new kind of agriculture in cool temperate regions of Bhutan is the mountain hazelnut. It is a long-lived, deep-rooted perennial that produces significant quantities of nuts that can be used in many different ways.
Training bidike ji nija se asu chukpala ni nija se chugondan unubanki lokti kwado cheni likpebu lekpani likni nioma sho chikdong chikja sangilzala chikdong chikja khedodang ngapangja.
Tawang has been growing hazelnuts since 2012. He found it a considerable variation in growth from plant to plant and site to site. Tawang already saw a promising gold on his nut trees.
우드바쇼 보신 겨라면 udu phoga osa barkai so phi okamni bokpi osona mela unu bokpi ani usu nata diligi ola la pre omja se so osa gi sona la metodo asula ni usu ka bokpi ani ola ta dinu se ani.
He really can't get it off because it is a promising source of livelihood for his family. Even before bearing nuts on the trees, he started to accumulate handsome cash from his hazelnut orchard.
Tiata ragi li bunjala li semu nyom sona mela udi so sing brado mang rok so phang ka nyom sona la omcha unu nyom sohan ba pura rokte gi ani jongdar bini la ni jongdar bini unu te ni manso ni oi bunjala unu awagi jangu wongba bunongjala namlo niktong songsi가 숨주 소도 와서 농발라 똥다 숨소도 니 송아가 똥다 갭주 자니모 농발라 니 송훈가 붐두 상근 농발라.
A farmer like Tawang is committed to give his heart and strength to his hazelnut orchard. It has become one of the secure sources of income for him.
니 양텐송된 자우수 하잘나 체데게 가다 남산 판독발라 디루기 강일부 남산 마션칠 Tibu nam same roking ning down na nokna ruktegi nudo ma se ma buni changudo raga tirugi chang on ligi chanam sa nokna ni segi dani nam sa manung be dokpa malala.
Nuts and hazelnuts are highly valued export-oriented products with diverse opportunities to strengthen the rural economy and to preserve the country's agricultural heritage.
Uma tangun nam sa malala namne mo taunga patuk pa sungon dak barinala. Tinongom che nam same yo lami yo ani malani odo rang de le ani lani on pecha das lam de kita ni la hangani bu hagona odo de cheni pinila kevin da nam same uhelani otaba.
Similarly, farmers in Rongthong under Tashigang district were also one of the first adopter of hazelnut orchard in Bhutan. One among many farmers in the region is Phunso.
고마도 미히라마 성실이 아니 어서 junki 로람 나니 오니 체와 니 호마도 시와부 말알 오니 렉프라자 자가부 알레히나.
Phunso planted his first crop in 2011. His hazelnut orchard has become one of the most impressive hazelnut fields in Rongthong. Today, his trees grow tall and some trees already started to give him nuts.
다레 다스 망부스여줘라 꼬르바가 암니 야데레 야데레 저 어디 송어박이 암니랑 테사 안감고니라 추몰라.
Relying on its amazingly rich and variable nature, Phunso is committed to expand his orchard. For him, the most exciting part of hazelnut farming is an opportunity to earn cash even at the growing period.
싱 리기부 닝레가 동라 강아 쿵쿵 뇽라라 리 중기 납니 싱 닝다나 리 쫀부하기 어디 밥쿵 저기 레알라가 뭐 쇼농 페날라.
Most farmers abandon the land and head for the city in search of a better job. Unlike many farmers, Tawang and Phunso always wanted to be at home working in the farm. However, the success of the story was unfolded just because of one pioneering foreign-owned company, the Mountain Hazelnut Venture, led by Daniel Spitzer and Justin Finnegan.
In 2009, Mountain Hazelnuts started a foreign direct investment company here in eastern Bhutan. One of our first orchards that we planted was here at Yonphla. We have about 800 trees on a little under 2 acres here, and this is a great example of the potential of hazelnuts in Bhutan.
The mountain hazelnut works to produce high-quality hazelnuts in the hills and mountains of Bhutan that creates shared value for all stakeholders in a particular community.
Which means we want to benefit the society, we want to benefit the economy, and we want to benefit the environment. And we believe that hazelnuts in the hands of Bhutanese farmers will accomplish these tasks.
Hazelnuts are the easiest nuts to grow, but one must consider the type of soil where hazelnut can be grown properly. This particular hazelnut trees that the mountain hazelnut introduced in Bhutan can be grown well on deep and medium textured bottomland.
Most of the time what we'll do is we will look at the texture of the soil, how the soil is composed, and really hazelnuts can tolerate a wide variety of growing conditions. The thing that they really don't like is saturated soil.
Hazelnut trees require certain climatic conditions depending on the species and variety of the nut trees.
In between 1,600 and 3,000 meters is what we think is a viable option for hazelnut production, but in this band between 1,800 and 2,100 meters is really the optimal band for planting hazelnuts. We see that there's a lot of deciduous forest around here. The soil here is well drained. Other types of trees such as walnuts growing in the same area. So those are some of the sort of indicator species that we look for when we want to know if an area might or might not be suitable.
Bhutan's mid-elevation areas have the right conditions for hazelnut orchard. However, the mountain hazelnut is still finding out some suitable conditions for hazelnut production in Bhutan.
Data loggers are taking careful record of temperature and humidity hour by hour. And with these records over the courses of a number of years, we'll be able to build out models for the farmers to understand chilling hours and temperature ranges throughout the year. And this will help farmers grow the hazelnut, but it will also be beneficial for them in other regards.
The mountain hazelnuts works with thousands of small-scale farmers to spread out hazelnut orchards across the country. The company reproduces high-quality hazelnut seedlings, raise nursery, and distribute young trees to the farmers. They also provide technical assistance and help farmers whenever they are in need of support.
The dampara ngachigi shin tubdalo dampara ngachigi the shinda shingi banalu the rinsechi shagubila shinda the yagi roni gi banule dalo rinsechi ebila shinyi gi banalu di mitani be shabila tangachigi shinyi di lainchi ya tale chushina lainchi ma gechi ma olebe chugola aninyi gi banalu mitar shi shagopila.
Capacity building and professional development are priorities of mountain hazelnuts. Till now, the company has trained almost 8,000 people.
Telengachigi shindi chungube chubdara tengacheregi gipshogi ani shuguchi jinebila plastic mulching sheets labila chube capsulura tengachigi shin jinjong bemi misi disulu te training da jongdar disu te matuptubera khonlu jinjina te khongi chuni yes junila telengachigi shin achi bom jo beodalu tengachigi analu tengachigi gipshogi ani mulching di tengkoshina telengachiragi da shin tusagi sagonalu thomi telengachiragi shingi shin chungku yemi disugi dama disu toshina tengachigi shingi chawlongachigi organic mulching setup ni chiela.
Hazelnut is the nut of the hazel and therefore includes any of the nuts deriving from the species of genus Corylus, especially the nuts of the species Corylus avellana. The hazelnut trees, which most farmers grow in Bhutan, are very easy to train, and it grows up to 15 to 18 feet tall and wide.
And we have our main varieties are called Barcelona and Ennis. And there are two very well-known varieties of hazelnut that produce quality nuts that people will want to buy. But then there are also a variety of different trees that we use to pollinize the hazelnuts. So in total, I would say we have up to 6 varieties of tree that we can combine in different ways in the field to get good pollen coverage and good what we call nut set, so a good crop.
If a hazelnut tree is older than 5 years and has yet to produce nuts, the tree is likely to missing its mate. Hazelnut trees require cross-pollination from a different hazelnut cultivator to produce a nut crop.
Hazelnut tree is monoecious. That means it produces female and male flowers separately. The pollen from this tree will go and pollinate another kind of tree, and another kind of tree will come and pollinate this tree. And so we have to have both types of trees in the orchard. And mountain hazelnuts understands this and works with the farmer to make sure there's a proper ratio of what we call production trees, or trees that will produce nuts, and pollen trees, or trees that will produce pollen for the nut trees.
Pollination and fertilization must take place for hazelnut tree to produce nuts. These trees are self-incompatible, which means it cannot pollinate itself.
I don't know if you can see, but here we have female flowers as well. And the female flowers are very small, and they have pink, a bright fuchsia color when they bloom. And unlike many other trees, hazelnut trees bloom in the middle of the winter. So they pollinate only by wind and in the middle of the winter. And of course, in February and in March here in Bhutan, there's plenty of wind.
Hazelnut is a bushy, multi-stemmed deciduous tree that allows sucker to produce a shrub. Therefore, young hazelnut trees require pruning. Timely pruning is crucial to establish the scaffold structure that will end up being the framework of adult tree.
So we'll come into the field and we'll assist the farmer. We'll train the farmer on how to use the secateurs and how to prune the tree correctly. We want an open tree, so there's a lot of light in the middle of the tree and a lot of air, so that the air and the light can penetrate the tree, and there will be many, many nuts that can grow in here as well. We cut it back to 4 to 5 to 6 maybe main stems, but I'll start by cutting out the small pieces and laying them aside. When we're cutting, we want to make sure that none of the branches cross each other, because then the branches might rub and introduce wounds. And we also want to cut out all the pieces in the middle so the tree opens up like a vase. So we're going to choose one of these branches over the other. And I think that we should choose maybe this one on the outside. All right, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 main stems and the 5th one here. So I'll go ahead and take off this and that. And then these 4 stems will provide the base of your tree, and it will grow very big.
The mountain hazelnut also propagates hazelnuts from sucker plants, which are just baby shoots that comes out from the horizontal roots of the parent plant.
당아치기니 짬 조돌루 아님치 인치 찌디치기야 토칼레 바쿠디 슈고라 아네 바쿠디 슈브시나 델랭아치기 GI वायर से येला वायर छुंकुची त्यानी दि नाले दमजागोला 델랭아치레기 소다스탄 디스바 플라스틱 디수기 푸 베샤비 아치기 소다스타미 디기 거기 나레 짜케니루 펜토비 तारगी दमजासिमले चा नाले मकेसिना ते नावनासे दौ दु दिन दिचिगी जापकले बेरु द लोची दिची जापकले बेरु तेगाचिगी आनेले चाकेमी दिगी तेगाची टोपची 신데야 테노 대야텔레마 짜텐데온바 아니 짜기 아지기 짬디 아네 베조비.
Every after 35 to 45 days, mostly during the early years of cultivation, the field monitors assigned by the company inspect every tree in each farmer's field.
We have hired field monitors that come to the fields periodically throughout the year and talk to the farmer and check the trees.
데다 신 쭈이세다 네베 다지마베 코샤니 멤버 베시나 땡아치라기라 나옴베 따톡바디스 쭈디게베 데 다우린체메 때 날레봉 신기 다 피세 가데베 누가 때 네지 토바친 땅아치기 네지기 쪼탑디스 가데베 베고바가 디송아치기 가라 나 아치르기 산네나루 데미 따톡바디스기 때 라레짐베르 베도세슈니라.
Another hazelnut farmer, Jamso, in Ngangshing under Pema Castle Dzongkhag, had never experienced like this. He received training on how to plant hazelnut trees. After he received training, he knew it was going to be a good opportunity for his family.
포싱을 사반 록대버기 맨부터니 양텐부터로 다리부터로 bakla. 원데기 온 윷마디오다스 착벌 양텐도 니사망 살로 자와 엔진다. 니 닝다나 아족당다 블록비 마키오 축비 마키오 우두든 암선 판도글라 이비랑기니 비나멜 릭블라 엔진젤.
So of course, we have no upward bound on the amount of land that we would like to see planted in hazelnuts. It really has to do with the economics of each individual farmer and if they can find a place for it in the land that they have.
The Mountain Hazelnut project has transformed the mindset of most farmers in eastern Bhutan. Sherop Wongdi is just one of many farmers who had converted his entire paddock into a thriving hazelnut orchard.
And all of these trees here are yours? So these are the older trees, right? He's one of our partners in hazelnut growing. Cherub has over 290 hazelnut trees here in Colling. Some of them were planted in 2011, and some of them, like the one we see here, planted in 2016, this summer. And what did you grow here before hazelnut? Is empty? Just fallow, yeah? So this is good use of the land, yeah? So maybe instead of just fallow land, now we can have a crop and maybe you can gain some income, yeah?
As a deciduous crop, hazelnut trees requires a relatively cool climate, and seasonal cycle for hazelnuts takes several months. According to Lindsay from Mountain Hazelnut, climate in Colling is well suited to grow hazelnuts.
This is a suitable area. This is in between around the 2,000 meter range. Good moisture, even in the dry season. It remains moist here, and there's plenty of cold as we feel today to keep the chill hours up for all of these hazelnut trees.
With his family entrenched in the farming of hazelnuts, Sharap Wangdi says the future is looking bright, so the next generation is interested and active.
칭에 웍서버가 된 게 곧배 켈란일라. 네원야 데케니 틱타운토니 칭에 보니 네 슝분이 남사메 깜바니 보니 렉부 오베가 레오잘라 남사메.
And this is the kind of partnership we would like to have with our farmers, is that at first they try the tree. If it works on their land, then we would love to be able to help them plant more in following years. And the more hazelnuts you can have in one place, of course, the bigger the harvest and the better the profit for the farmer.
There may be abandoned gold mines below the surface, but it is the trees and their fruits above the ground which Bhutanese farmers must be passionate about. Hazelnut farming not only provides an opportunity for rural farmers to generate cash income, but also creates an opportunity to young Bhutanese to take up hazelnut farming as lucrative business in future.
칠립기 컴퍼니 디기 나 두갸갑 나오시나 신리메 똥베베 탐 델레미시 디수기 다 신리메 똥베베 톱들로 사지 똥베 잡아디 로트치 춥다 세노멜라 나치 로트디 추시나 디 다레 랑루 페 마토브디 베로야 디 슈마랑기 다 부시 디술로 펜토베기 tiru zosubegi shinchi imeladi dimatse ngacheregi misidi sugiala de shindi tsunamachin denamesemi lejumduladi damba bedolo rangi chimgi gokhalo ombabmela teniba bedolo ngacheregi ranshine donlo pemela tangachigi sashi tom jabodi dizumi shinchi tsu dikhale tiruchi teni yebachin tengacheregi darenabagi najindisu timpulefa jonida yo chewa joni yo mateba kauchebe phalefa junigeya te mafa mijoga sewegi tengacheregi ikhalefa guntung tenida yo meba deni sashi tom lini disu tengachigi ani shingibe te kak misubega sewegi samchachi sunila.
Mountain hazelnuts is yet generating significant social and environmental benefits, along with the financial returns for all stakeholders. Across Bhutan, thousands of farmers are taking part with mountain hazelnuts to plant millions of hazelnut trees.
But much of Bhutanese culture and much of what makes Bhutan Bhutan is farmers like Cherub. And if in some small way the hazelnut industry can help provide income for farmers like Cherub and his sons and daughters to come back here and to engage in farming activities, then this is one of the main goals, and we would be very, very pleased if this were to happen. This is one of the goals of the company, is to provide a livelihood for people who wish to remain in the rural areas of Bhutan and to continue the traditional farming activities. And by giving them a product which they can sell on the world market, a product which doesn't deteriorate and which will fetch a good price, it is our hope and our sincere wish that we'll be able to provide a supplemental income to people, to farmers such as Cherub, so they will be able to stay here and make a living and make a culture and continue to live the life that many Bhutanese have lived for centuries.
hazelnut is truly a path to more prosperous livelihoods, and planting your own nuts at home do not have to mean a huge use of limited space or a decade of waiting time before you get your first harvest. Nut trees, as you have seen, are ornamental shrub, attractive and highly effective species to start an early harvest. Development of hazelnut orchard is also a best choice to help in preserving our environment and provide a new income stream. We have come to the very end of our today's series. You may watch this in another edition of The Living Treasure. I'm Diki Zangmo from the heart of our entire production team. Thank you so much for joining us. See you again next time.